So now, we've all been here, haven't we? You go into the cinema confident that the opening credits of, I don't know, The Fugitive or The Remains of the Day are about to roll, and instead there's someone on screen trying to flog you a bottle of gin. You turn indignantly to your companion saying, "Oh God, we've hit the bloody commercials. I told you we had time for another drink before we came in." But by now, of course, it's too late. There's no going back. Well, it's probably not much consolation, but advertising features make a vital contribution to the profit margins of cinemas. And if you study them carefully, you'll see that they're even more scientifically geared to the age and spending power of the audience than at TV adverts. One particular firm, Pearl & Dean, which may sound like an old-time bottom-of-the-bill variety act, but isn't, has been making adverts for the cinema for 40 years. And as they celebrate their anniversary, we thought you might like to see how cinema commercials have changed over the decades. Many people still remember the days when cinema advertising used to look like this.
A dancing mood, a gay new dress, and to match them both, Coty lipstick. Yes, Coty lipstick colors are fashion matched. Ask for Coty fashion matched lipstick.
The company Pearl & Dean was formed in 1953 by Dickie and Ernie Pearl and Bobby Dean, who were sales executives, I think, at the time with the major cinema advertising contractor, and broke away to set up their own business, Pearl & Dean. And it's been going ever since.
When you choose the soap to use, be quite sure it's white and pure. It's used by 9 out of every 10 film stars. I mean girls, not men. You know the name, I hope it's Lux, 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 Lux Toilet Soap.
Historically, we have always had cinema advertising as part of the night at the movies. You go along to the movies, you expect to see the advertising, you expect to see the trailers, and then you see the big film.
Happiness is all around and it starts right here. With your feet on the ground, yes, everywhere you wear. There's a smile in the style of happy shoes. There's a smile in the style of happy shoes. There's a smile in the style of happy shoes.
Cinema advertising, whether it was in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, whatever, has always been very creative. Creative people in the agencies, the producers, directors love to use the medium. It's big scale. And that's what cinema offers.
The company with the main share of the market nowadays is RSA Advertising.
Cinema audiences have been rising consistently since 1985. At the end of 1993, we would expect to see some 104 million admissions, and this is obviously a very pleasing trend from an advertising point of view. I think this has come about for 3 reasons. Firstly, the tremendous amount of good product and popular films that have been around. Secondly, the viewing environment, largely the multiplex phenomena, but I think this is now a standard across all cinemas, which provide the consumer with a pleasant viewing environment. They can usually park their cars, maybe book their tickets in advance, and overall it's a much more pleasurable experience. And I think thirdly that it's still tremendously good value for money.
Well, I think cinema advertising has evolved over the years, and it does relate to the audience that predominantly goes to cinemas. And as the audience has got younger, whereas sort of 30, 40 years ago it was a much broader audience that went to cinema, now it's predominantly a young audience. The advertising that goes on in cinemas has become more daring. The 501 campaign for Levi's started in '85, and it started primarily in cinema, because cinema really is the perfect medium for something like Levi's, and since then we've done 15 commercials, all of which have appeared in cinema.
Audiences enjoy the cinema commercials. Often they're high on humour, high on creativity. They reflect people's lifestyles and their aspirations. And generally, it's seen as part of the entertainment experience.
I would argue very strongly that if it hadn't been for cinema advertising revenue over the last 10 years or so, there would be an awful lot of cinemas in this country that wouldn't be open. Cinema advertising has played an important part in keeping cinemas open and in the revival of the that's currently going on.
Wonder how many people popped out for an ice cream or an orange juice while that item was on.